Hello, my name is Kristen Fan.
And I'm Charles Syrie.
And welcome to Daily Smiles, positive news stories brought to you in each episode. Spring is here. Let's take a look at what's been happening in the Bay Area. We start today with one of the more popular annual events in San Francisco. Bay Area residents took to Market Street to help celebrate the 168th annual St. Patrick's Day parade and what turned into a green sea of celebration. People of all ages lined the streets walking or watching the parade. There are over 100 floats, marching bands, and Irish dancers. You name it. This event draws more than 100,000 people every year and is the largest West Coast Irish event held.
A 25-year-old man in Maryland credits a fortune cookie for winning the lottery. Diego Caceres opened his fortune cookie after finishing his Chinese food. It read that it was his lucky day. Because of that, he spontaneously bought a Power 8 scratch-off ticket at a 7-Eleven by borrowing money from his brother. Despite having only played and lost once before, he ended up winning the top prize of $100,000. Yes, he does plan to share his winnings with his brother. Are you now considering buying a lottery ticket?
Or a fortune cookie? The Drought Center has declared that after 7 years, the drought in California is finally over. All the rain we've had through the past months has led to an uproar of wildflowers and butterflies. A tweet from the Drought Center reads, "For the first time since December 20th, 2011, California is free of #drought. The state has experienced some form of drought for 376 consecutive weeks. The yellow on the left shows what used to be dry areas in California, and the right graphics show those yellow areas have almost completely disappeared. Due to the amount of rain and snowfall, the reservoirs in California have been replenished in a super bloom, which generally only occurs once every decade, has occurred for a second time."
Some cool places to check out during the super bloom include in the North Bay, Point Reyes National Seashore, in the East Bay, Berkeley Hills, or in San Francisco, Mount Davidson Park. A woman in Norway has made history this month as the first woman to receive the world's most prestigious mathematics award, the Abel Prize. 76-year-old Karen Uhlenbeck will accept the award known as the Nobel Prize of Mathematics from the King of Norway in May. It also comes with a $700,000 prize.
Also from Norway, 16-year-old Greta Thunberg is an inspiration when it comes to youth-led protests, specifically about climate change and protecting the environment. The teen organized an international campaign which sparked protests at school, including right here in the Bay Area. She has now been nominated for the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize. As part of her effort, she skipped schools to host her #Fridays for Future protests, in which she pressures Swedish lawmakers to fight against climate change. Officials say Greta Thunberg has launched a mass movement which is seen as a major contribution to peace. In her own words, Greta says, "Instead of worrying about the future, you should try to change it while you still can." Thunberg has a spot on the Time magazine's list of 25 most influential teens.
Another teen chasing her passion, Lexi Rudolph from Mountain View High School. She swims for PASA and has recently accomplished scoring a juniors national time. We recently caught up with Lexi.
Hello, my name is Kirsten Andrews and I'm here with Lexi Rudolph, who swims for Palo Alto Stanford Aquatics. Lexi, when did you start swimming?
I started swimming when I was around 4 years old, but I didn't start swimming competitively until I was like 10 or 11.
And what do you enjoy about swimming?
I really enjoy the competitive environment and all the rewards that come with swimming. Like, I've met a lot of my closest friends, and I get to travel and I get to just push myself to be a better athlete.
Why did you start swimming?
My parents actually signed my sister and I up for the summer swim program at the country club we belong to.
Can you elaborate on some of the rewards you've gotten through swimming?
Yeah, so I've met a lot of my closest friends through swimming, and I've met a lot of new people, traveled to a lot of places, and things have just pretty much recently started to pay off a lot since I just got my first national time about 2 weeks ago.
Can you just tell me a little bit of background and story about that national time?
Yeah, so it was my birthday. And I was in Texas for sectional championships, and I was doing 100 freestyle, and I swam in the morning. I had prelims in the morning, and like, of course I'm always trying to like do better, but I didn't expect to drop this much time. I dropped 0.8 of a second, which does not sound like a lot, but it's such a short event, it's a lot. And my teammate was right next to me, and it's always like whenever you're racing against one of your teammates, it always becomes a little bit more competitive. It's like, of course you want to be like supportive for each other, but it's also like you want to beat that person. And so we swam, did our race. Right when I touched the wall, I looked up at the scoreboard and I saw that I won my heat. And then I looked at the time, I was like, oh god, I dropped that much time and that's a junior national cut. I like immediately like started smiling. I was so happy, and I like whipped around to my coach on the other side of the pool, and he was smiling too. He was like yelling. He was very happy, and so that was really cool. And then I qualified for finals that night, and I swam well, scored some points for my team, which was really nice. And then the next day, I had 200 breaststroke, which is another one of my favorite events. And I had another one of my teammates right next to me in that race too. And I ended up dropping 2 seconds in that race and getting another junior national time. And I did the same thing. Right when I looked at the board, I like whipped around, saw my coach on the pool deck. He was smiling, he was happy, and I was very happy too. So it was very nice.
How has your coach impacted your swimming experience?
He has really just pushed me to be a better athlete, just pushed me to kind of be the best that I can be. I would definitely say that he's the best coach I've ever had. He really tries to, like if I'm not feeling good one day, or if it's just like an off day, he'll be like, okay, just do what you can, just be better in whatever you can. Like it doesn't have to be great, just like push yourself to be better. So that has really kind of shown me that I don't have to be the best, I just have to be the best that I can be in that moment.
Mm-hmm. And also, how is the team environment, your teammates, and the relationship you have?
I'm very close with all of my teammates. Like I said before, I've met a lot of my closest friends through swimming, and they're also supportive of me. I'm always trying to cheer for them, they're always cheering for me. And it's very nice to just be able to go to practice, even if I don't want to be there some days. It's very nice to go to practice and be surrounded by people I love.
How often are you in the water now?
I'm in the water maybe 17 hours a week. Maybe it's like I practice 6 days a week for the most part. Of course that changes. Sometimes I might have practice on Sundays if I have a meet. But I practice about 6 hours a week, 6 days a week, sorry. About 2 hours, at least 2 hours, sometimes 3. And then I'll have morning practices every once in a while. So I'm in the water like every day.
What do you enjoy most about swimming?
I really enjoy the companionship and the support of all of my teammates. I really love the team environment. I love the opportunities that it has brought for me, and just like all the rewards and all of the possibilities that swimming has brought.
What kind of future do you see yourself with swimming?
I haven't been able to see like too far into my future. I haven't really planned much out, but just for the moment, I'm definitely planning on swimming in college, hopefully throughout college, and just keeping with it.
How has swimming impacted your daily life?
It has definitely impacted it a lot. Like I said before, I practice 2 hours, at least 2 hours a day. So that really takes a lot of my free time away. But at the same time, it puts me into a good routine to the point where like I know that I have a set schedule throughout the day. Like I might have practice in the morning, I go to school, I get home, I have a snack, I do some of my homework, I go to practice for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then I will finish my work, I'll have dinner, and then I'll go to bed. Like it's just like a very set routine. That's kind of nice to have. It's a good like stability.
Thank you so much.
Another kid making a big splash in the world of swimming. Clark Kent Apuada, a 10-year-old swimmer with Monterey County Aquatic Team, Apuada, nicknamed Superman, last summer crushed the record that Michael Phelps has set in the 100-meter butterfly as a 10 and under swimmer when competing at the same Far Western Championships in 1955. Apuada's time beats Phelps by a whole second. Phelps even recognized this accomplishment in a tweet stating, "Big congrats to hashtag Clark Kent for smashing that meet record. Hashtag keep it up, dude."
A new viral sensation urges people of all ages to help clean up trash. The internet's new hashtag trash challenge has recently been trending on Instagram and Twitter. The challenge is to find an outdoor area covered in trash and to take a photo of the area before and after you clean it up, showing off the progress. Cleanups from Mexico, Belgium, and the United States have been shared all over the internet. Challenge your friends and spend a day outside helping the environment. You can share your photos at dailysmilesmonthly@gmail.com to get featured in the next episode.
A viral image hit the internet this month showing a dad standing alone in his newly opened donut shop. The Texas shop, Billy's Donuts, named after his son, spent its opening day without a single customer. So what would any 21st century teen do? Tweet. The son shared, "My dad is sad because no one is coming to his new donut shop." After this tweet went viral, the Instagram for the shop skyrocketed from 71 followers to over 59,000. The tweet had over 250,000 retweets, and at the end of the day, the donuts sold out.
So many smiles were shared on today's episode. Here are some quick reminders on why smiling is good for you. Smiling can help lift a bad mood, it can relieve stress, it can create bonds with others, it can make you more attractive looking, it can lower blood pressure, and best of all, it's contagious. So keep smiling. And thank you so much for joining us today on Daily Smiles.
If you have an idea for one of our next shows, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email at dailysmilesmonthly@gmail.com. I'm Kristen Fan.
And I'm Charles Syrie, and we'll see you next month.